is a global mission to create the ocean on the World Wide Web. It's an interactive world where every species and habitat is a unique work of art created by digital artists and developers from all over the world.
I think what theBlu represents is, for the first time, can the internet itself define a new media, its own form of storytelling and shared media experiences, really at a scale I think the world's never seen before. This notion that we have about maker media and tapping hopefully tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of artists all around the world building something at a scale that would have never been possible before the internet.
The largest team I've had was probably on Avatar. I'm working with about 100 animators and motion capture artists. theBlu is the possibility to work with thousands, tens of thousands of artists around the world.
My life, and now even more so with the Media Lab, has been kind of pulling together things that aren't normally together. The really interesting thing about theBlu is how it brings sort of the biology and the activism of conservation and the beauty, as well as the sort of grassroots participatory maker thing. So it pulls in all the things that I'm really interested in.
One of the biggest problems that the oceans face, that most people don't see what goes on in the ocean. And this project is a way for people to put their head under the water without getting wet. A beautiful way for people to not only see the underwater world, but actually create it.
I've always thought it would be cool to make a simulation of the ocean with all of the vast life forms of different species. But every time I would consider it, I realized that it was just too ambitious. It's just too much complexity. But theBlu makes this possible, because when you have thousands of artists from all over the world working, something like that becomes possible.
I've been involved with computer simulation since its very earliest days. I was the effects director on Tron, and I've watched the evolution of computer technology for 30 years, and now here we are at a time where we can work globally and where a project like theBlu can finally happen.
So what's in it for you? As a maker, you get to showcase your work across the web, you connect with a community of peers, you get direct feedback from Academy Award-winning makers, and you get paid for what you make.
I've talked to a lot of my friends in the industry about this idea, and they're all kind of saying, where do I sign up? How do I get involved? That sounds amazing.
Like CG pipeline meets social media meets e-commerce to allow digital artists to sell their wares directly.
Really also like the architecture, where you have the designers and the makers, and you have the profiles and the idea of sort of interacting with them.
I'm a technical art director, and my job is to design the art in such a way that it will run on most home PCs and still be the best thing you've seen on the web.
I'm very excited for this, for we may be able to find many great creators in the world whom we have never met before.
This overall concept of a global environment that's socially growing on its own, it's a really big idea. It's something that nobody's done before.
It's really an experiment in evolution of both technology and art and communication. So let's all do this. It'll be really cool.
I think challenging ourselves to really say, can the web be beautiful? I think that's, why we've been so fortunate to get all these really incredibly talented people, whether those are software engineers, those are digital artists, those are animators, those are music composers, all this sort of collection of talents being brought to bear with sort of the collaborative power of the web, I think is a real neat thing.
theBlu is a digital underwater world like you've never seen before.